Once in the forest you'll find a fabulous banquet, a fairy ball. If you close your eyes and you open your mind, the veil disappears and you'll see it all.
Hi my angels, it's Haley Reese, and today's video is one that I am super excited to bring to you guys, primarily because before doing my research, I had never heard of this before. And now, after having done my research, I can't believe that I had never heard of it before. And that is the ghost of the legendary Hollywood sign. Now, I had no idea that the Hollywood sign was deemed haunted, especially by a 24-year-old actress by the name of Peg Entwistle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this story is extremely tragic, it's extremely sad, and it's also extremely intriguing in the sense of the paranormal aspect. There's a lot of different elements to this that if you're somebody who's interested in the paranormal, you will definitely find this story extremely interesting. And I use that word very lightly when it comes to the death of somebody and the haunting of somebody. I never want to call, especially the death that she fell to, interesting. But as far as the paranormal aspect and the correlations between her life here in the physical realm and her afterlife and her haunting, it's very intriguing, it's very complicated, but it's also very correlating with a lot of sightings and a lot of things that have happened. So without further ado, let's get into this because there's a lot that we're going to talk about. But one thing I want to say before I get into the story is I would really highly recommend you watch this video from the beginning to the end, because the things that happen even after her death and the different correlations and conspiracies and just the whole jazz surrounding it is super fascinating. So you definitely don't want to click out before you hear the best of the best. So let's get into the ghost of the Hollywood sign. So back in the 1930s, there was an actress by the name of Peg Entwistle, and she truly had gained moderate success in her acting career. She definitely wasn't at the point that she really aspired to get to. I mean, she definitely wanted to be an actress to a larger scale, to a larger platform from a very, very young age. And she'd went through a lot in her childhood that really pushed her and really made her feel like this was an all or nothing kind of thing. But she had gained moderate success in her acting career. She'd landed roles, she was kind of doing her thing, and she was only 24 years old. So realistically, she still had a lot of time ahead of her and a lot of time to really make that happen for herself. The irony of that entire situation is the fact that she really did achieve that level of fame that she had hoped, but it was in the afterlife, and it had to do with the haunting and the sightings of her ghost. So let's get into why exactly Peg haunts the Hollywood sign and the moments leading up to her tragic death. So on September 18th, 1932, Peg was suffering from extreme depression, despair, and desperation, and she had taken to drinking in order to kind of mask this pain that she had been feeling. Like I said, she was only 24 years old, and on this night of September 18th, 1932, she consumed a mass amount of alcohol. She told her uncle that she was actually heading to the corner store to meet up with some friends, but instead she made her way up Mount Lee in Los Angeles, California, to the site of the legendary Hollywood sign. Now back then, the Hollywood sign didn't just read Hollywood, it actually read Hollywood Land. So Peg made her way up Mount Lee, she headed towards the Hollywood Land sign, and what she did next is absolutely devastating and unthinkable. Peg took off her coat, she neatly folded it, she set down her purse, and she began climbing the maintenance ladder behind the letter H of the Hollywood Land sign up 50 feet, where she then jumped from the letter H of the Hollywood Land sign and fell to her death. Now, Peg was said to have died instantly. However, she wasn't found until the following day by a hiker, and that was when it was kind of all pieced together that she had neatly folded her coat, she had set her purse down, she climbed the maintenance ladder to the 50-foot high up letter H and had done the unthinkable. Now, people sort of assumed that when she had done this, it would be the last they ever saw of Peg. And that may have been true on a lot of different levels. However, it was only the beginning of relentless and countless sightings of the ghost of Peg around the Hollywood land sign, and later to what it is now, the Hollywood sign. We often know that when somebody commits suicide or they're murdered or they have an unexplainable, instantaneous, unexpected death revolving around tragedy, it often manifests into ghosts because they become trapped within the area. And there's a lot of different ideas as to, you know, why Peg's spirit stays there. There's a lot of people in the spiritual and haunting community that believe that Peg's spirit haunts there because obviously that was where she had done the unimaginable, unthinkable, and something that I pray that nobody ever does. But also, a ton of people believe that the Hollywood land sign signified a lot to Peg. It signified her lifelong dream, and it signified where she wanted to end everything, back where she hoped that it would all have began. But needless to say, there have been so many sightings of Peg at the Hollywood land sign and the Hollywood sign that it's kind of become a known fact that this isn't just some sort of a myth or some sort of a urban legend, that it's actually completely true. So I'm gonna read you guys some documented sightings of Peg's ghost, and then I'm gonna read you some pretty bone-chilling, interesting things revolving around this case, so to speak. So the first one is, the Hollywood sign stands atop Mount Lee in Griffith Park, just west of Los Angeles suburb of Glendale. Over the years, park rangers have reported seeing a pretty blonde woman dressed in 1930s clothing, wandering the park's paths. She is described as looking sad, and when she is approached, she vanishes. Then it says, as a couple was walking their dog along the Beechwood Canyon Trail of the park, their dog began to behave strangely, whimpering and cowering behind them. Suddenly, a woman in out-of-date clothing appeared on the trail in front of them, appearing dazed or confused. She vanished before their eyes. Now that honestly makes me sad, because if you were to see her and you were to see her looking sad, you could be kind of replaying, and her ghost could be mirroring, you know, the emotions she felt leading up to her unfortunate death. But when they say that she looks dazed or confused, it could honestly be that her ghost has been there for so long. I mean, we are talking back in the 1930s, that perhaps she doesn't even understand why she's there anymore. Everything is looking different. Things aren't what they used to be. I mean, it's obviously now the Hollywood sign. It's not even the Hollywood land sign. The city and skyline view has changed dramatically. And people in the area look completely different than what she's used to. So perhaps her ghost is feeling extremely confused about the positioning and is feeling rather trapped. The next one says, John Arbogast, a park ranger, claims to have seen Peg's ghost on several occasions. He says she most often appears late at night when conditions are foggy, and she is often accompanied by the strong scent of gardenias. I know I'm butchering that, but that was Peg's favorite fragrance. Now, I actually, in the moments of researching to do with Peg in this entire situation, I read a lot that people smell her fragrance more often than even seeing her. And then it's kind of an interesting fragrance, so it really stands out. I'll read you guys one more. It says, Devin Morgan, a resident of Beechwood Canyon, can also verify the gardenia connection. One afternoon, she was taking an exercise hike up the trail near the sign, and she made her way around one of the switchbacks and noticed the figure of a woman on another part of the trail. She looked very strange to me, Morgan said. She had a very interesting quality. Instead of walking, she seemed to almost glide. She wasn't floating, she didn't look like she was a ghost, but there was something very, very strange about her, and very soft looking. Morgan attempted to catch up with this woman, but she had vanished, and the only thing in her place was the intense scent of gardenias. And there are plenty more sightings and scents and just everything to do with it. So if you guys are interested in this, I would definitely recommend searching and doing your own kind of investigation, because I could sit here for hours and read you guys all of the different sightings of Peg. But what I'm going to conclude on was extremely chilling to me. Very soon after Peg's death, a letter arrived to her home from the Hollywood Playhouse. They were offering her a part in the play, and the part was to play a woman who commits suicide. Now, people found this to be extremely chilling and terrifying because back then they would send out letters for things like this. This was the 1930s, and they would take time to arrive. So there was no way when this letter was sent they could have known what she had done. I don't know, you guys, I found this story to be extremely sad, extremely tragic, but also really interesting that I'd, one, never heard of it, and two, that so many people have been documented witnessing the ghost of Peg. Now, first and foremost, my previous video had a lot to do with suicide awareness and prevention, and I want to take a quick moment to just let you know that if you were triggered by this story by any means, or if you are suffering, I have a couple of different chat rooms, websites, and toll-free numbers you can call, or things that you can look into or research into, because suicide is never, ever, ever, ever the right thing to do. And there are so many people who love you, who care about you, and who most certainly can help you get through this difficult time. Peg was only 24 years old. She definitely cut her life way too short. And she was a promising actress. A lot of people were really, really upset in the Hollywood community when they realized what she had done, because they really saw a future with her. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. What did you guys think of this story? Have you heard of it before? Is this more common and more shared than I even realized? Please, please, please make sure to drop your theories, your thoughts, your comments, your experiences, everything and anything down below, because my absolute favorite thing to do is to go through and read what you guys think, what you guys thought of it, and if you guys have heard of it and all of your experiences. So please do that, and I will be replying to some of you because I love to do that so much. If you're new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos almost every single day, so I really don't want you to miss when I do upload. And please give this video a big thumbs up. It makes my heart super, super happy. It's the best thing ever when I see that you guys are enjoying my content. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.